I'm Callie Lewis.
And I'm John P. Welcome back to another week of Talk Mobile 2013.
We're having fun.
It's not yet 2014.
Not yet, but if you like this, maybe.
Next year we'll do it again. All right, well today we are going to change things up a bit. We're going to start talking exclusively about apps.
Well, everyone has an opinion about this. A lot of controversy. iOS has the biggest app store. Everybody else has better apps. Blah, 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 blah. So my
BBM
question
is the greatest.
It is the greatest.
Why are you looking
Thanks
at
for
Kevin? I
acknowledging
can't
that.
imagine why you're looking at Kevin here. So my question is, does size matter?
I think apps, there's a threshold after where you have to hit a certain point just so you have the variety that people are looking for, specific services. But once you hit that threshold, I don't think it matters after that point, because then it becomes redundant. Then you're just talking about 30 weather apps as opposed to AccuWeather or Weather Channel.
Can I just say that app size doesn't matter to people who don't have app size?
Oh.
So no, it's a bit of a misnomer, because app size matters in the extent that you might have one good calendar app, but we have dozens of good calendar apps. You get variety, you get choice. It does start to weed things down because there's not as much money in each category. So the best in breed apps in each category, I have Fantastical, I have Tweetbot, I have all these great things because there is tonnage.
Did the internet get better when we went from 5 million websites to 10 million websites?
Because BlackBerry was one of them.
It's once you have the services you want, the apps for your specific hobbies, professions, etc., it just becomes kind of redundant.
I am addicted to apps. There's no
Yes.
doubt. I literally will fill up the device's memory with apps. I keep downloading more and more, looking for that one gem, that diamond in the rough. And so what I wonder is, how about curation in general? I mean, don't we need more of that? How do we get it?
And you've got, I think, two levels of curation. You have front end and back end. So Apple's done front end where they try to ensure that apps that are being submitted, they're not approved unless they're at least half decent, right?
In theory.
Functional.
In
They
theory.
just have to
They
be
have to be
functional.
functional.
That's it.
Android, all you have to do is upload one and it's there within, an hour. So much lower barrier to entry.
No, John, you've hit the nail on the head, and I think for all of our sites, it's been bread and butter content for years. And I just want to set the record straight. Apple didn't invent apps on smartphones.
No,
This
they-
goes back to Palm and BlackBerry. We've had apps for years.
But we created the on-device store. Yeah.
But even prior to Apple having an app store, people wanted to know what app should I put on
Yeah.
my BlackBerry or my Palm Trio or anything else.
So let's talk about that. Which apps should every platform have?
There are definitely the big services, and so that's always the race. Whenever like Songs or something like that.
Evernote.
Netflix.
Pandora, Evernote, Netflix, all these
Gmail.
things. So people definitely are always looking for those. And I would actually say that you can divide this up into two categories. There's the major services that everybody wants, the bread and butter stuff out there, like the Netflix, Hulu, and everything. But then there's the flavor of the month sort of apps. And we see this a lot on iOS, and then now it's going to Android too, where a new app or a new game comes out and it gets really big on that platform, and then everybody starts looking at the other platforms and they're like, oh, when's it coming to that? And those are two different races that are going on, and one that iOS is definitely winning at right now, but
It's
the
got
other
momentum.
platforms are catching up too.
Yeah, for me it's really different because there are the Netflixes, there are those, but if I look at my home screen on my iPhone, I don't have any big brand apps.
Well, what about indie apps versus the big names? Let's dig a little deeper there. Can indies take control of the moms in the world?
It's hard to say if they can take, put it this way, Instagram started by a couple of guys. So you can have huge things from little beginnings. And we've seen that
Pinterest.
with
Yeah.
most of the big services on the internet today. Google starts out with a couple
Facebook.
of guys. Facebook, everything starts out with a couple of guys.
How
who
they
are-
do it? Is there a model that people can follow? I don't know.
It's a lot of things have to come together. You have to have a good app first and foremost, or at least a pretty good app. You have to have good marketing. You have to have some luck.
It has to fill a gap that
It has to
people
fill-
sometimes don't even know about.
Yeah, Pinterest filled this need. Pinterest, I think, filled a need to fill space for a lot of people, and it's just this upward rush of stuff. And if you need something, you go here and you search through all this stuff to get it. And people love it. It's like a garage sale almost. And then you have to have, I think, a little help from the app stores themselves. We've talked about this a million times. Getting featured can mean life or death for an application.
But also, this is where the user comes into play, right? Leaving reviews. this is so important. This is sort of like you're talking about curation. There's the back end stuff of getting apps approved, but then there's the front end stuff with the consumers, leaving reviews, so stuff naturally.
But I'm
gets-
too lazy.
Well, that's okay because we have curated sites like theirs, and we have professionals who take the burden off of us so we don't have to download and install all of
Exactly.
them, even if we just want to. All right, you guys, we are going to be back tomorrow with even more good stuff.
Again, leave comments. Keep coming back tomorrow for more, and we will see you later. I'm Callie Lewis.
I'm John P., and we're out of here.